One school bus can hold 42 passengers. How many school buses will be needed to transport a total of 180 passengers on a trip to the state legislature? Well, I would divide 180 by 42. Okay. Now, I put my decimal right here and put a few zeros down here. 42 will not obviously go into 1. It won't go into 18 either, but it will go into 184 times without going over. I multiply to 164 here, and I'm left with 16. I bring down my 0. 42 will go into 163 times without going over, and so on. And I could get a number decimal, but I'm about 4.3. Well, a lot of times you would think, well, I've got all these choices over here. I would round down. Well, no, I'm not going to round down because I need basically 4.3 buses, but I can't rent or get a third of a bus. So I'm going to need the extra bus in order to carry the total of 180 passengers. In other words, my 4 buses I have don't have enough room for all my passengers. Therefore, I've got to get one more. The choice is C. Leah has, sometimes you can say has as an equal sign, 3 fewer than. Now notice that is not 3 minus. That is 3 fewer than 4 times as many DVDs as Sonia has. 3 fewer than, that's something minus 3. 4 times as many DVDs as Sonia has. It's going to be 4S for Sonia. Now we're told Leah has 37 DVDs, so we can get rid of that L. Now we have another piece of the puzzle. It's going to be 37 equals 4S minus 3. How many DVDs does Sonia have? Well, I've got to solve for S. Well, I've got a negative 3 over here, so I'm going to say plus 3, get rid of that. I'm going to say plus 3 and get rid of that. So I'm done with that. And this is 40. So I got 40 equals 4S. Basically, 4 times what equals 40? Well, to solve, I'm multiplying here. I'm going to divide by 4. So I'm going to put divide by 4, divide by 4. I've got 10 equals S, or S equals 10. And this is the way you can work it backwards when it's a little bit out of order. Answer is A. In his bank account, Hal has 70 more than 1/5 of the amount of money that Bob has. So he has 1/5 B. Hal has 170 in his bank account. So now we can even get rid of that variable and say 170 equals 1 over 5 B plus 70. 1 over 5B is also the same thing as B divided by 5. Remember when we were doing scale factors, if you had a scale factor going from a big triangle to a small one, it was 1/5. The opposite of going from the small one to the big one was going to be 5. Well, this is the same thing here. 1/5 times B is the same thing as B divided by 5 plus 70 equals 170. Well, we got to solve for B now. In order to do that, we've got to subtract 70 from both sides. And we are left with 100 equals B over 5. Now we're dividing, so we have to multiply both sides by 5 to get rid of the divided by 5. So we're going to say times 5 times 5. This is 500 equals B. Choice D. Rudy wants to teach a hip-hop dance workshop. The cost of renting a dance studio is $109.50. So he's going to be spending $109.50 over here. He plans to charge $15 per person. If 6 people attend the workshop, how much money did he gain or lose? Well, if he charged $15 for 6 people, that's 15 times 6. That's 0, 3, and 90. So you got 90 on this side. Well, if he brought this much money in and he spent this much, you're going to find the difference is $19.50. But did he lose that much or did he gain that much? Well, he obviously lost it because he spent this much. He brought in that much. The difference is this. He lost that much money. Therefore, he will A. What is the value of n? Or what value of n makes the equation true? Again, we have to solve for n. The easiest way to do that, the first thing we've got to do is get rid of that 3. We're going to do that by subtracting 3 from both sides. That eliminates that. Now I've got negative 1.1 n equals 3.6 minus 3. That is a negative 6.6, not a positive. That's not 0.6 or anything like that. If it's negative 3.6 degrees and it gets 3 degrees colder, now I'm down to negative 6.6. Now, in order to get rid of this negative 1.1 n, I've got to divide both sides by it. So, divided by negative 1.1 divided by negative 1.1. That crosses that out. I'm left with n equals 6.6 divided by, or negative 6.6 divided by a negative 1.1 is, in fact, a positive 6, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Therefore, our answer is M. And if you plug this back in, you'll get the right answer. Brad sold 5 times as many tickets as Doug. They both sold 120 raffle tickets in all. So Brad, which is represented right here, sold 5 times as many as Doug. So I got to do Doug's equals 120. Well, they just used a different variable here. They used t, which is fine. You can use whatever variable you want and then swap it out later, but the answer would be A, because I've got Brad sold, let's say Brad here, 5 times as many raffle tickets as Doug. So he sold 5 times as many tickets as Doug, plus what Doug sold, and then they both sold total for 120. Our answer is A. Which expression or which equation can be represented by the equation 3s minus 25 equals 80? Now, these might take me a second to do because I haven't seen these questions yet. But Marissa bought a sweater, 25 sweaters for $3, each with a discount of S for a total of $80. Okay? Marissa bought S sweaters for $25 each with a $3 discount for a total of $80. Marissa bought 3 sweaters for S dollars, each with a $25 discount for a total of $80. And D, Marissa bought 3 sweaters for S dollars and bought a hat for $25, costing a total of $180. And it looks like D is our winner. Marissa bought 3 sweaters for S dollars. Then she bought a constant or a $25 hat, and then she spent a total of $80. Our choice is D. What you would do is you want to work all of these out, but the choice is D. Now, when I see that, I'm sorry, cancel that. That was incorrect. This is minus 25.